Hi, my name is Dr. Colin McClure from the School of Biological Sciences, and today I'd like to show you a virtual practical I developed for our school. So because of the COVID-19 pandemic, of course, the ability to do in-lab practicals was greatly reduced, and so what we've had to do is develop virtual practicals for our students to undertake to learn the knowledge and skills that we would normally teach them within the lab environment. We know from the pandemic, however, that students often have missed their opportunities to engage with their manipulative skills during home learning, and that quite often the alternatives have been to supply the students with videos which demonstrate the knowledge of their skills, but don't give them the opportunities to learn authentic skills. Further, research has shown that students have reduced participation in class and reduced motivation overall to complete their studies. This is seen from both the researcher's perspective and also from the students' perspective themselves, where we see 50% of students saying they're less motivated in class and 50% also showing a lower morale, with only 25% showing higher during after the pandemic. We know that authentic experiences can support student learning, and this is especially true for higher education students who want to see an application of the knowledge. We also know that direct interaction and immediate feedback following decisions from students can support learning, and we see this in research where students engaging with a virtual reality form of their practical versus a video have increased in both recall and understanding of the knowledge. This knowledge has allowed us to develop virtual practicals, such as these, where students are given an authentic scenario. However, these are often very expensive and are not always available for the various practicals we want the students to complete. As a result, I devised my own practical based on the Choose Your Own Adventure books that were popular in the 80s and 90s, where students were given an opportunity to make a decision based on a multitude of different options, and given whichever option they choose led to a different scenario and different possibilities for the students later in the practical. This was achievable using Microsoft Forms, which had a branching option where whenever students were given an option to make a decision, based on whichever decision they made, they could follow a subsequent branch of the form, allowing them to see the consequences of the decisions that they make. I employed the use of this Microsoft Forms as well as using Microsoft Stream to create this Choose Your Own Adventure style scenario for the practical. It was a second year practical in molecular genetics, and it consisted of one practical in a series of 6. The scenario itself consisted of 37 sections, 10 of which of each of those questions allowed the students to make an option of either 2 or 3 choices. Following those options, students were then given videos which describe the scenario and their consequences, and that these forms themselves were embedded onto Canvas where the students could engage with the activity. Students were given feedback either immediately, if that was the situation that they were involved, or at the end of the sequential questions to demonstrate whether there was success or failure in their options. If there was a failure, students had to go back to the beginning of the whole scenario in order to complete the scenario again. This is what it looked like. This is the form. So I provided a scenario given the video. So the students watched the video and then were given an option based on that video. So in this case, having to add different volumes of a binding buffer solution. The consequences, again, were from my video. In this example, you can see that the students didn't complete the practical successfully, so they were given feedback in my video and had to go back to the beginning in order to complete the session. In terms of student perspectives, we've seen that 72% of the students engaged with this virtual practical versus 63% for the other practicals I developed. We've seen that 55% of students completed the practical successfully in their first attempt. But we've seen overall that students used approximately 30 minutes to complete the practical session. Anecdotally, students said that they enjoyed the videos and enjoyed the ability for choice, but that they wanted more of these, both options and videos, and did not like any repeating that. So we can see here that using Microsoft Forms and Microsoft Stream and embedding those into Canvas can provide an opportunity to engage our students effectively in a free manner and allows us to relatively easily engage students in a more effective way to develop their skills in authentic manners. All right, thank you very much.